Hi, everyone. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I am so excited to be here. My live stream shows that nobody is watching, but of course, I see people in the comments. So let me know if you guys can hear me so that I know if it's working. Because I see Pam had commented. I see Shannon. I see, it looks like Cat. I have two cats here. Oh, there we go. Now it shows me we have 5 viewers. There's Nikki. Hi, Nikki. I got to figure this out. Like, this is on my screen, but since Erin's screen is over there. All right, perfect. I hope you guys are all doing well today. Excited to see you guys join us. And we are waiting for Erin to get on. She's going to get on in just a couple minutes. I have got to go into my YouTube so that this video is monetized. It's very interesting to use StreamYard. Let's see. We've got all kinds of people. We've got Cassie, Bird Mom. I'm not sure. Bird Mom, I don't think I know your name. If you want to share it, go ahead and put that down in there. I see Debbie. I see Chantel. I see Stephanie. And let me get in here and go over here. Sorry, guys. This is the first time I've done a live in StreamYard since I was monetized, and figuring that out is a little bit different. I do have a story to tell you guys while I'm trying to figure this out. So I was supposed to have a video go live today, right? It was a very long video, and it had to do with the drawing that I have opened up. Well, I was working on it. It took me a couple hours to edit it because it was really long. You guys know I talk a lot. And so I did that and everything. And then my phone was full, so I started deleting stuff. I thought since my main editing software had the whole video edited that I was good to do that. And unfortunately, it's not how it worked. So I deleted half of the video. And so I'm going to try to get that for tomorrow, just so you guys know. All right, let me get in here, do this. But yeah, super disappointed in that. I see we've got all kinds of people coming in. Perfect. I'm almost done on my computer. I'm actually sitting on my laptop, which is in front of my desktop. So I am using my desktop to do something else. There we go. All right, let me go ahead and save that. And then it's done. I hope all of you guys are doing well. And let's see what we've got over here. All right, and so we do have Erin on. And Erin, it looks like your microphone. I can't see your microphone.
I had it turned off because we had a bit of a beverage malfunction. So
oh boy. So you mean like did you spill something?
I did not. Gary did.
Well,
it's not like you can't across the room or anything.
No, that's too funny. All right, let's see. It looks like we've got all kinds of people in here. We're going to try to stay up with everybody's comments. I am going to move my laptop a little bit so that I can sit in the center of my desk now and figure this out. There we go. So we have got all kinds of people here. I'm sorry I didn't say hello to everybody. We're so happy to have you here. For anybody that has joined us that maybe doesn't know why we're here, we are here because my friend Erin from Erin Twibbles Around Aimlessly from Australia, we have been friends for quite some time. I think January, really, maybe
almost
December,
a year.
January.
Almost
when
a year.
Was it, Erin?
It would have been in January of 2012, or not 2012. That's a really long time. January this year was when we first came in contact and started to get to know each other. And then probably, I would say from about March, April-ish.
Yes. And for anybody that doesn't know, we have some succulents that have fallen in love. So now I have to go to Australia. So Erin had said something, I think it was during my last live, which was quite a while ago. She had told us that when she reached 1,000, she would show her face, because if any of you guys are subscribers to Erin, she has never shown her face on YouTube before. So She said it. She may not have meant it, but she said it. And so when she went camping, I decided to run the campaign to get her to that 1K so that she would have to show her face. So we are here to see Erin's face today, and of course to do our Q&A as well. I hope that everybody got their questions in. Of course, if we have time, we'll go ahead and take some additional questions. But I want to go ahead and open it up to Erin to do a little bit. I don't know if she has anything she wants to say. You know, we didn't plan this out very well. And you guys, just so you know, this is probably going to be a hot mess. But here on Snow Gardener 307, we keep it real. So Erin, go ahead.
Oh, it's not going to be it's going to be a dumpster fire, but
yes, it is.
I think, yeah, no, go away camping, and I'm out of cell phone range the majority of the time. All of a sudden, I'm starting to see, you know, hashtag show your face. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So yeah, no, it's like you said. Some people have seen me before that have been around for a long time. Back when we used to have a couple of live chats on Zoom, kind of when we all met. So, but yes, the dogs are here. So Steph, you will be able to see the boople snoots. They will be jumping up to say hi, especially the little mountain goat who likes to mountain goat. But yeah, I say I don't know. I guess just rip the Band-Aid off.
Right. So we had decided, of course, that Erin wouldn't just jump on right with her face to show you guys right away, because what fun would that be, right? We have to make you guys wait a little bit before she shows her face. So I don't know how many comments do you need? You know, like maybe do we need some hashtag show your face comments? Do you need several of those before you're willing to show your face? Or, you know, I can't give you any money. Sorry.
No, I've got more than enough money. You know what? We've got 31 people on. Can we get the likes to 20?
What are the likes at now?
I think 11.
Okay, everybody like the video. We need 20 likes, and we've got over 30 people on. So if you haven't liked it already, then make sure you go over there. Is it there already?
22.
Perfect. Okay. Oh, and there, Nikki said, show your face. So yeah, I don't have any cool music. Oh,
there's Wilma. Actually, that's right. Hello.
So here is Erin for anybody that hasn't seen her face before. Like she said, there are a few of us that knew what she looked like, but not many of us. So I am so excited to do a collab with her today. We have more fun than you guys know behind the scenes. I'm sure sometimes you guys can tell from our videos and our comments to each other. If only you guys could see the behind the scenes, it might be kind of bad. We're kind of troublemakers.
It's only
all right. That is true. And so I see everybody giving you all kinds of nice comments over here in my comment section. And yes, we're so happy to see your face today, Erin. Thank you so much for joining me and agreeing to do this, because you could have said no. I mean, it's not like I asked your permission.
That is, but I put it out there, and I'm a woman of my word. If I say that I'm going to do something, I am going to do it.
Well, and look at that. Simply Steph just said 50 likes for Gaz. So, you know, they want to see Gaz. I know he's video gaming.
Yep. He doesn't care. He'll actually probably answer some of the questions, but yeah, he loves how sexy he is. You will hear his commentary in the background. He's like me, no filters. Peyton's not home today. Otherwise, you would just get the full-blown circus. Right now, today it'll just be, you know, like a 3-ring circus. But if Peyton were home and the dogs and everything else, it's like a full-blown. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's very quiet in my house because my Peyton is in his room playing video games. Bridger is still in Texas working, and the doggies are actually in bed. Don't worry, we'll get them out. we'll get him out. So no big deal there. And so I see we have all kinds of people here with us. We're so excited. And we've got lots of questions from you guys.
Taylor. Hi, Taylor. Okay, Caroline, one of the things we have to warn you about most of the greenery is it's fake because we can't keep any plants alive, which is the irony of Marlene's name having gardener in it, because that was how the whole thing started. Is she had a plant and its name was Fred and she killed it. It was a succulent, like succulents that aren't supposed to die. But I killed a fern, like ferns, which are supposed to be impossible. I couldn't even keep that alive. So when Marlene got Fred Jr., and I referred to the previous Fred as Drop Dead Fred, I just had made a comment one day of, I have a Wilma for your Fred. She immediately got the joke and the reference, and then it took on a life of its own, I think. Really,
the rest is history. It just keeps growing and growing. I don't know how many of you guys saw one of my last videos when I called out Wilma for ghosting Fred Jr., but Erin thought that was hilarious.
She's got a new home. He who ate her is actually right here trying to eat her again. So one of the troublemakers. Come on.
Oh, too funny. And yes, I worked. Oh, there's one of the troublemakers right there.
So when I say his head is the size of my head. But
I thought you were just gonna hide behind one of the dogs for the whole live.
I could. And then I could make him talk.
Just so you guys know, I do not do good with succulents, but I am a good gardener, thank you. I don't usually have houseplants inside because we have cats and they like to eat weird things and they're indoor cats. But let's go ahead and jump in to start doing some of these questions. And I'm trying to watch the comments, but you guys are commenting so fast that they're like zooming by. So I apologize if I missed a question in there. And there's Tasha with Mind Your Money. There's Pam. There's so many people here. We're so excited to have you. So I'm going to go ahead and start. And Erin and I did not plan how to do this. There's her other baby.
One and not the other. It's the little one.
Yes, the tiny, tiny little.
Yes.
And so I will ask Erin the first question. These are not in any particular order. I hope I got everybody's questions written down. And so we're going to start out with a question from our friend Kat Ritz. And her channel is the Fit-ish Budgeter. If you guys don't follow her, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to try to be a good YouTuber and add people's links in here, but I don't know if I am that talented, just so you guys know. So I'm going to try while Erin is answering the question to add the link for whoever asked the question. That's my goal. I tried to put Erin as a moderator too, but apparently I can't do anything right today, so that's just how it is. So first question from our friend Kat, and she actually has 4, so that gives me a while to get her link in there. First question is, would you ever consider moving to the US?
Back to it? Probably not. No. I don't have any family really that's left there other than like a cousin and a nephew. And I've never had really close ties with my family. Gary, he likes to go back ideally during the winter so that he can go hunting. So back to Montana, but it's really hard especially after being away for 10 years, I think, because it took us about 4 or 5 years to actually adjust to living in Australia and having that difference, and with the school system and how university and everything is here, that going back it would be really tough. It's actually really ironic because my father served in the military. He actually served for 32 years and he visited every single continent in the world, including Antarctica, which is where he died. And that they actually named a geographical region after him, but he never made it to Australia. He stopped in New Zealand before going down to the ice. And he loved it down here as well. So it's, for us, it's been such a fit. And my dogs are really happy here. I can't just uproot them. That's
right. And you've been there for, has it been 10 years now? Is that right?
11 years.
11 years. Okay. All right. Next question from Kat.
That's right, Taylor. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Kat, aka the Finished Budgeter. I put her link up there, you guys. I did it. So if you're not subscribed to Kat, go check out her channel. Her next question is, do you know how to surf?
Yes.
Look at her surfing.
Yeah.
You're also a California girl. So
I'm a California girl. I grew up on the beach in San Diego. So I have been in the water and on a surfboard since I was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Okay.
So I would say probably by the time I was 1 year, 1 year old, I was in the water.
So this next one, I'm very interested in this one. So I was very excited to see this question come across. Kat asks, what's a local tradition or local info that only those in the area would say, if you know, you know?
How clean do we have to? How clean do we have to keep this?
I don't know. I'm drinking a beverage, that is a choice beverage. So,
I've got a toffee nut coffee frappe. Oh man, the bin chicken. That is true. Yeah, bin chickens, drop bears.
I know all these Aussies over here saying stuff that I don't understand.
You have NFC. Yeah.
Now you didn't tell us anything.
Well, see, if you know, you know. If you don't know, I love the Northern Territory. So if you know, what the unofficial slogan of the Northern Territory is. And they have it on their shirts and everything. And so it basically, says see you in the NT, but it doesn't say see with your eyes.
Oh, lovely. I like that.
And you see that on shirts all the time. What? That's Northern Territory. I mean,
You just can't help them. All right. So last question from Kat is, if you weren't in the profession you are now, what would you be doing?
I actually wanted to be a lawyer. So that was, it was a, I'm reading some of the Aussie comments.
Of course you are. And I'm going, I don't get it. So I'm not laughing because I don't get it because I'm not a local.
That's why you have to come here and you have to learn.
Well, hey, the pennies are adding up. It might take us a while, but we're going to get there. Georgette is getting pretty hefty. I mean, Georgette's right here. Georgette is right here with her eyelashes.
It's going to take a lot of Georgettes, I think. But yeah, no, I initially wanted to be a lawyer. And then when it came time and I was looking at graduate school, and so I wasn't sure if I wanted to do an actual, because one of the schools had a combined degree of psych and law. And so you get a law degree, so a JD along with the PhD. But that was additional years on top of getting the PhD. So I just stuck with the stuck with the PhD in psychology. I love psychology. I never anticipated to be an academic. I love research. I'm great at research and all of that, but I actually like doing. So it gives a nice balance in that I can still do the consultancy and such on the side. And then I can also do the do the teaching as well. So it's really rewarding in that. I would like to be at a smaller university, honestly. I don't like being at, we have our lecture theaters hold over 1,000 students.
That's crazy.
We have some classes that have over 2,000 students that are enrolled in them. They're big. Insane. They're big classes.
That is absolutely insane. And I see a lot of people are like, come on to Australia. You guys think I'm kidding. I really am saving. There's just a lot of stuff going on that I'm saving for. And I can tell you guys this, Christmas isn't helping, because wait till you guys see my next haul on my other channel. I have a problem.
You do have a problem.
And Christmas is it. Yes, lottery tickets. Kat says Georgette needs some lottery tickets. And fun fact, you guys, Wyoming has lotto now. They've had it for a few years now. But somebody in my little town just won over $800,000 in the Wyoming lottery.
And well, why wasn't it you?
as I know, right? You have to play though to win. But as my sister-in-law Shannon, you guys know, you hear about Shannon all the time. She was really mad because that was her retirement plan and they took it from her. So, all right, Erin. Now I'm a little bit afraid because you guys, Erin was cracking up at some of the questions you guys sent to her. So I am a little bit scared of what you guys have asked.
I'm trying to find the one. I know that I should have written them down. I'm going to start with Shannon.
Kitchen shenanigans. Okay, so I've got to find her link too. So I'm listening. Go ahead.
She has 2 questions.
You're already laughing. I'm scared.
That's the second question. That's hilarious. So first, how many Christmas trees is too many?
There are never too many Christmas trees. If I had a bigger house, I would have more. I don't know if you guys can see all the Christmas trees behind me. I know my screen is shrunk. Only one has lights. I don't know which side because I'm looking up Shannon's thing. Only one has lights right now. But there are never too many Christmas trees. And that will be part of course, my Vlogmas on my other channel. Uh-oh, she's laughing at the next one. Is everybody ready?
You have to choose, and you have to be honest, so you might want to cover up their ears, but which is your favorite gnome?
I don't think I can say that on public TV. I have so many gnomes now, you guys, but they're all holiday gnomes. I need some gnomes that aren't going to be put away. And,
year-round gnomes.
I do need some year-round gnomes. I would have to say I don't have names for them all. I'm going to need your guys' help for the Christmas gnomes. But of course, Clyde, he's close to my heart just because he started the whole gnome and the name that gnome thing. And he's cute and he sits on a little tray and he doesn't talk back. So he's my favorite.
Because he doesn't talk back. None of them should. They're inanimate objects.
Hey,
a talking gnome like a little pull string on the back.
Georgette has eyelashes, and she's not real either, but she still has feelings. Dang it! So, are we doing? So that was both of Shannon's questions. So, are we flipping?
Yeah, but there was a follow up because you have been skirting this question. You have not answered. How many trees do you have?
I can't tell you.
Why not?
It is going to be a surprise for Vlogmas. It is the theme of my Vlogmas.
How many you have? You're going to have more by the end of Vlogmas.
I have a plan, and it is surrounded by Christmas trees, and it is part of my Vlogmas surprise. And you guys will know if you watch my other channel, which is Snow Gardener 307, Everything But the Budgets. Shameless plug there. Oh, I should put my link up, shouldn't I, in my own live for my other channel? The gnomes talk back. Yes. Mm-hmm. Hey, she's from Utah. She knows us people in Wyoming are crazy.
Hey, you know what we say about people in Montana.
Yes, I do. I do know what they say about people in Montana. So we're trying to somewhat keep it clean. So
I didn't think that.
Yes, the microphone will pick you up. You don't.
I can hear him. Yes, I can hear him. Did everybody hear that? Oh, I just saw really quick in the comments. I saw we have got Jesse with Jay Whackers. Hello. There are so many people I haven't said hello to everybody. I apologize. All right, now we're going to flip it over to Erin, and we're going to ask her some questions. And this is from her fellow Aussie, Taylor Louise. Is that right?
Yeah, Taylor.
I always think I'm saying her name right, or wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's no R on it, Taylor.
Okay, Taylor. And Taylor has a great question that I know you're going to love. And she told me I had to make sure and ask you, but she's got 3 questions. So let me get Taylor's link up as soon as you start answering the first one. So Taylor says, what is your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Oh, easy. Back to December.
She's like, oh, easy. That was an easy one.
Actually, I get a freebie because I get 2 because actually second one of hers, technically it isn't her song. She sings on it. And that's with Tim McGraw and Keith Urban and Highway Don't Care.
Okay.
So,
Look at her.
don't
She
even have
was
to think
ready
about
for
it.
that one. Don't ask me that one because
because
wouldn't know
listening
any.
to her new album. She re-released her album, so I have been listening to it all week, including all the new songs from the vault and everything as
Did
well.
you see Taylor's
So,
comment? She said that was respectable.
respectable.
And you guys, I put Taylor's channel up in the comments. She does have a budgeting channel. So if you guys are interested in budgeting content, make sure you go check her out. So next,
Because I also did ask Taylor which she would be more. She had to give one of two things up, and one would be Taylor Swift songs, or the other one would be her eyelashes, because she has these beautiful, just like long eyelashes, and she's just like, "Yep, I'll go back to wearing mascara." She's a
did you
huge
see
Swift.
Caroline? Who's Taylor Swift?
Caroline.
Is she trying to start a fight down there in Australia or what? All right, so next question is fold or scrunch?
Huh?
Fold or scrunch?
Fold or scrunch?
I don't know. I thought maybe it was an Australian thing.
Like scrunch my
Is
face?
it money?
No, because we can't scrunch our money.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Taylor will give us some more over here in the comments. While we're waiting for her response on that, maybe it's clothes. Do you fold your clothes or scrunch your clothes? Toilet paper.
Oh, toilet paper?
It is toilet paper.
I'm a folder.
You gotta love how Shannon knew what she was talking about as well. So it definitely, I didn't know. All right, so this next question.
I wouldn't have thought, like, I was thinking about a lot of different things. I'm like, could it be underwear? Sometimes that fitted sheet that never wants to fold correctly, and you just go and throw it somewhere. I mean, it could.
I saw a trick for the folded sheets.
Anything coming from Taylor.
I saw a trick for folded sheets. Well, it's for sheet sets. You fold up your flat sheet, you scrunch up your fitted sheet, and you put it inside of one of your pillowcases, and then you fold it flat, so you've got your entire bedding set inside of a pillowcase.
No.
Hey, it's an idea.
No, I'm just gonna stay with flat sheets, and I'm gonna tuck them in, and then I'm gonna burn the fitted sheets. Otherwise, they're just gonna be wrinkled when they go on the bed.
Okay, this next question, I know everybody's gonna love this question. This is the question that had me cracking up, and it doesn't surprise me that she asked this one. Well, it did surprise me, but knowing her personality, it's a great one. So, last time you picked your nose.
Probably last Friday, because I had to go in for a procedure, and you're going to be asleep, and they're going to have your mouth open, and you're going to be like, oh. So yeah, you want to make sure that, they're not looking, that like there's nothing that's in there.
Right. You
right.
Don't
Because that's like, those are the things you do when you go into hospital. You make sure that, everything, that you're clean, you have your clean undies and everything on. Yeah.
It's like before coming on here, you got to do the booger check.
Yes.
Got to make sure you don't have something hanging out of your nose.
And the tooth check as well.
Right.
To make sure that you have nothing in your teeth. Yeah.
Yes. And look at her now. She's like, okay, that was it from Taylor. So now it's, I guess, my turn again.
Hi, Jocelyn.
Hi, Jocelyn.
Such concentration.
Oh, Kat. Okay, we'll see you later. Drive safe.
Drive safe. Okay, well, since you did, so then I have Taylor questions for you as well.
Oh God! If she asks Taylor Swift, I'm going to tell you guys already. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm not good at songs. I hear a song on the radio and I like it, or I don't like it.
I'm crushed.
Is that one of the questions?
Yes.
I really don't know. I know nothing.
What
I have
do
no
you listen
excuse.
to? You can't just listen to Christmas music all year. She's
No,
gone to
definitely
Christmas farm,
not.
she's gone to Christmas tree farm.
I listen to, I don't know, whatever's on the radio.
Caroline's got a big stick. She's like,
yeah, woo! Yeah, I really don't know. I do like the song that you were talking about, you know, that she sings with the other singers. I've heard that song before. I like that song, but I'm definitely, music is so different now. You know what I mean? Like when I was growing up, music in the 80s and early 90s, you know what I mean? Listen to music all the time. But now it's like a lot of times I'm listening to podcasts or I'm listening to YouTube videos. You know, I clean house and there's YouTube videos playing. Before I got into YouTube, that's when I would listen to music. Now, not so much. Jessie says she's not a fan either.
You have Jessie in your camp, and you've definitely got Caroline in your camp. Oh, yay, Shannon!
Oh, wearing masks in public has ruined my booger game. You can, you know, I mean, you wear those masks and nobody can see if you've got any boogers, nothing in your teeth. You're good to go.
We just had our mask mandate removed, so we don't have to wear them anymore.
Oh, really? Wyoming hasn't had a mask mandate for a long time because nobody tells people in Wyoming what to do.
Well, it's not like they would listen anyways.
They don't. You tell them what to do, and then they're going to say absolutely not.
Yeah, I think it's similar everywhere where, you know, where as well as just it's been a long time. Like it's been a long time with them. They do. Trying to teach with them and talking into a microphone and such was, that was a challenge. More Rick Astley songs on the radio. You just need to Rickroll everybody.
I don't know. I mean, I listen to pop music, but I listen to country music. You know, it depends on my mood. My husband is more of, you know, more heavy metal type stuff.
He's an old 80s, 90s.
Yes.
Band. Yep.
Yes. See? And some of, you know, I like some of the new country, but I don't really call it country. I call it pop because, you know, I love Thomas Rhett. That's one of my favorite singers, you know, so. All right. Now I guess it's my turn, even though I didn't know the answer to that one.
Well, I still got 2 more questions from her.
That's what I was saying. Give me one that I might know the answer to.
Okay. Toilet paper. Over or under?
Oh, definitely over. Definitely over. If it's under, you know.
What?
And the other problem with toilet paper is there's nothing worse than people that put the toilet paper on the roll without starting it first. Especially in a public restroom. Because you're sitting there trying to get the toilet paper off the roll and you're getting all these little pieces. Ugh.
No, see, Australia has really, really nice restrooms. The US has some of the worst public bathrooms you will see anywhere. And why do you guys have that gap in the door? Like our stalls actually close all the way. There's none of this, you know, peeking in like on the side and such. Our door is closed fully. You get to the US and like there's these big gaps on either side, and you're just like
so I can spy on you.
Yeah. No.
All right. What else does she have for me?
You quit interrupting.
In the wrestling locker room in college, there was no door. When you sat down, you had to do it in front of everybody.
Nikki says Sam Hunt. I like Sam Hunt too.
Which actress would you turn for?
Oh, there's so many. You know, it's funny because the first one that popped in my head, and she's much older now, but I just used to think she was the most beautiful thing ever, and that's Julia Roberts. I just always have loved Julia Roberts. So there are a lot of beautiful women in
Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
That'd be hard to say no. Yeah. Oops, that's the members only. That's the members only chance.
Yes, we're supposed to, we're supposed to be charging fees, right?
Back in the stall door.
It is true. Let's see. Oh, I saw somebody asked a question here for you, Erin. Where did it go? It is Laura G. She says, where is your favorite place to visit in Australia?
Yeah, that would probably be one of the Daintree Forest area up in far north Queensland. So north, it's like even further north of Cairns and such. Really like that. I actually do. I do enjoy Perth. I do like it. And have been supposed to get back there a couple of times, but haven't been able to yet because of different things being on hold. But I actually haven't. So we've been all through all different parts of Queensland, both along the coast and inland. Been to different parts of New South Wales. Only been to Melbourne and Victoria. Haven't been to South Australia. Haven't been able to get up into the Northern Territory yet, and Tasmania is still on the list as well. So yes, I know I can't come visit you, Taylor, but you guys need to open your borders, damn it. Get your government,
All right, so that one, I just saw one scroll by. I saw one scroll by, so I had to ask that. And now we've got the next question.
It's hard to choose one because there's so many beautiful places out here that if you just get off the beaten path and you go where other people aren't, and you get out of the major cities and everything, and you get into smaller towns and you sit down and you talk with people, and then they tell you where to go, because it's just down the road, which means that it's a day's drive away. And
well, that's the best way when you travel anywhere. You don't want to really go to, certain places you might want to see something touristy, but if you really want to experience a country or a region, then you want to talk to the locals.
Yeah.
Especially for food. The locals know where the good food is. Oh, what is your favorite food in Australia? That's my question. I just want to know because I love food.
I still just like a really good steak.
She's like,
kangaroo is actually good. Don't mind that. Crocodile is tasty.
I've had crocodile before.
But otherwise, like, it's the food really isn't like, it's like Australian type food isn't much different than traditional American. I think because it's just like very agriculture based, but
right.
We have a lot of options for really good, authentic international, except Mexican food. You cannot find hog's breath.
Yes, we were talking about that. You can't get the ingredients.
Yeah, cannot find good, authentic.
Now, Caroline just said hog's breath, but I don't know what that means.
It's an American style. They try to be like an American style restaurant and such. That's why I always say that it's funny because we have Outback Steakhouse here, which is it's a U.S. chain, and it's marketed in the U.S. as being Australian food, but it's not Australian food. And so they have it in here, and so people go there to get American food that Americans think of as Australian. So
that's hilarious. And Nikki asked a question: what is a delicacy in Australia? Turkey, from what I hear. Flying turkeys.
The big chicken, no, the brush turkey. No, do not eat the brush turkey. Do not. Just don't.
Don't go there?
No. It looks like a turkey, but
doesn't taste like a turkey.
No, just like ibis doesn't taste like chicken.
All right, so next question.
We're not gonna have dugong either. Oh, it's fat as green.
Next question is from our friend Tasha over at Mind Your Money, and she asked you, "Why are you such an angel?" I just think she doesn't know the real you.
Eat the brush turkey. Yeah, Gary just said because I married the devil. I would say because my father raised me well.
There you go. I think that's a great idea.
Between my father and his sister, my aunt, those are probably two people that I was really really close to. Really close to growing up. My aunt was just the most extremely flawed individual, but just the most beautiful person despite despite all of so many different things. But then it's like I always say, it's negative emotions drown you, and they don't make you feel good, and you carry them, and you can literally feel the weight. And kindness costs absolutely nothing. It's to be nice to somebody, to smile at somebody, to hold a door open, to buy a coffee for somebody. I let one lady you know, because like in lines, people get like sometimes really snarky, and they're like, no, this is my spot, even though I have 2 trolleys full of groceries. And I had like 3 items, and this lady was like, no, definitely, you know, please. And she let like 3 of us go ahead of her. And so I gave them an extra $40 for her groceries, because you just
Paying
don't,
it forward.
you don't, you don't see those types of things. And I saw when I was at the shops the other day, and we have these little travelators. So it's like an escalator, but it doesn't have steps. It's just like a slope. And
Right.
and so you have to take the trolleys on them, but they're magnetic when they work. And so the trolleys lock in, and it wasn't working. And so they had to have, like, people were trying to go down really slowly. And if you've ever tried to push, you know, like a trolley, buggy, cart down a slope, it's really easy for them to gain traction. And a lady, you know, helped the lady that was in front of me. And so I just stopped her real quick, and I just told her, I said, you know, I said, that was really nice to see you helping another person, because I think we also don't call people out enough when we see them do something well.
Right. Help each
It's sad
other.
that it's sad that we're at a point, but I think more people also need, and I know a lot of people don't do it because they want the acknowledgement or anything. It's just a natural thing. But it's, you know, if you see somebody doing something nice and you acknowledge it,
A
yeah,
pat on the back goes a long ways. It really does. Just, you
it
know, might give
does.
that person a little smile, you know, things like that. And
It can
Tasha
change a person's
said,
day.
she asked because you were very giving and you always stay positive. And yes,
Oh,
that is one thing about you. You're always positive no matter what life has dealt you. You have chosen to stay positive. And I think that's a big deal, because we see a lot of times when people are dealing with things like you're dealing with, you know what I mean? That you have a choice, right? That you
yeah,
can either drown in your sorrows, or you can live your life and live the best life that you can.
yeah. It's there are some things that are outside of my control, and there are things that are no. I just heard Cass crack a tinny. Yes, he did, Caroline.
It's after 12.
He says it's after 12. But yeah, it's your. There are things that we have that are in our control, and maintaining that control. And that's why I always say, don't give somebody else power over you. If you don't, you know, if you can avoid that, you know. Um, and so what you choose to what you choose to focus on. They're all saying cheers, guys. So they know the sound. They picked up the sound of him cracking a beer. That just kills me.
That's Australia.
Straya. And Marlene's just like, I got a Bloody Mary.
Speaking of beer,
Is that
I
a
know
red
I'm
beer?
gonna have to put that on my live thing, aren't I? That there's alcohol on it.
You
All
can't
right,
see 'em.
next one from Tasha again
Oh,
is, who nicknamed your husband's motorcycle the Mistress?
I did.
I knew the answer to that one. Now, maybe you should tell them why you nicknamed it the Mistress, because I think that's funny.
I thought you wanted to keep this PG. Probably
You
the
can
most
keep it
probably the
PG.
most PG way that I can say it is because he spends a lot of time riding it. And it brought him joy. So.
See, look she knew it. She just wanted a backstory. I knew she wanted a little bit more. See? Mm-hmm.
You know that indicates that if you'd have named it the wife that brought me joy, that's not the right way to look at that. Just saying.
Don't be so sensitive.
All right. So the next one from Tasha still is, where in the world would you love to travel to the most that you haven't yet?
Egypt.
Ooh.
I want to do an archaeological tour
Ooh.
of Egypt. So about 14 to 16 days. Gary's shaking his head no. Then I didn't say that he was going to go.
Right.
This is about me. He wants to go somewhere where he can fish and hunt.
I'm game for Egypt. He can come to Wyoming to fish and hunt with Bridger, and then we'll go to Egypt together.
So Wyoming is where people that can't hunt in Montana go.
All right, they can go to Africa together to hunt. How's that?
Yeah, so you guys can go to Africa together.
Nah, because I won't eat anything from Africa. I only kill things that
Yeah, he only kills things with, that he'll eat. So for that,
Well, he's just gonna have to eat some interesting stuff. That's all there is to it.
yeah. No, where would you want to go?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the idea of Fiji or somewhere fun where there's.
We can
lots
do a
of fish.
Kentucky tour to Bali.
Sweet as. I could just see it. All the 19 and 20-year-old girls hanging out with the 43-year-old man. Oh, I love it.
You'd be like the Thule.
Yeah.
Yes, Laura, that is Erin's husband.
Yes, that is my husband. He's in the middle of a game at his computer, but he likes to be the peanut gallery. So
Of course he does. And if Bridger was here, he would be doing the same thing. That's why I have such a hard time filming when he's around, because he's always flapping his gums. And I told him to come on and say hi, but he probably won't. He's probably asleep.
Flashing his gums or flapping his gums?
Flapping.
Oh, okay. Like flashing guns ought to get ratings.
No, but Bridger he just sent me a
This is
picture.
why I have to kick him out when I film.
I'm telling you, I feel it. All right, so that was it from Tasha. Who is the next question for me so that I can find their channel?
So question from Kathy's Cash and Coin, who I know that she's at work tonight. She's not able to be here, but yeah, if Gary Hipgift Gaz and I had a channel of our own, jeez, we're gonna have like a little Foursquare of our husbands and us.
Yes, we are. All right, I'm putting Kathy's channel up here.
Yeah. So where's Mr. Twibble will show his face.
I forgot I could do that.
Yeah, you goober.
I'm sorry. I'm new to this.
This is why you need to do these more often, because then you'll remember how to do these.
It is true. It is
Just saying.
true. It's definitely a good thing.
So if you could tell your 25-year-old self one thing, what would it be?
It would be to stop spending money on Christmas stuff. My 25-year-old self, it would be, of course, to start investing, because that was 20 years ago and I'm just barely starting investing. But hey, I'm there now. I'm doing what I can. You can't take the past, but that's definitely it. And, to have an emergency fund. Julia just learned the importance of the emergency fund. She was not supposed to touch $1,000 in her checking account that was there for emergencies. And she dipped into it a little bit because, she needs some sneakers and some coffee and, all that important 19-year-old stuff. And she just hit a deer last night in her car. But luckily, not bad at all, like tiny damage. And so she was freaking out because I was like, you have a $500 deductible. And she's like, ooh. But she got very lucky. The college that she is at actually gave every student part of their money back. So they all got a $1,500 stimulus, and they just got it. So she got lucky. I'm glad it was a life lesson for her at an early age, instead of me just saying, I told you so.
Yeah, well, and I'm glad she's all right from that, because
no, it's not. It wasn't that at all.
This time of year.
Oh yeah, no, we see
straight through the windshield
up here. Yeah, we see it all the time. We have people hit moose all the time. We had, I had a couple coworkers driving very fast that hit a moose, and one of them was life flighted and almost died. Yeah. So it's like hitting a brick wall. Yeah, definitely a challenge. But yep, so she's okay, but it's a good life lesson for her. And actually, I'm so excited. She is actually coming up on Monday, and we are going to be doing some baking together. And I think she's going to film a budget video for this channel.
Yay!
To set up her poor college kid budget.
Yeah, I think though that would be, because that's one of the things that so many of us talk about, that we wish that we knew when we were younger, that our children knew, and going through, like, walking through that budget. And I think it's easy sometimes to forget. Like, I still have my budget books from around here somewhere. Oh yeah. Hey. This was my original budget book. It was a composition notebook, my 2007 financials. Like that was literally how I did everything when I first
Right.
started out. I love going back and looking at it and remembering, but yeah, that's with Gary being from Montana. I mean, you got stories of people hitting elk
Oh
all
yeah.
the time. And he had a friend in uni, and they come around a corner, and that's a, long stretch of road. And there's the bull standing right in the middle of the road with his herd crossing right into it.
Oh yeah.
They
It's
did not
it's
come out of that
definitely
one.
it's definitely
So,
scary, and it's something that's challenging. And around our local town, they actually lowered the speed limits, right? They had a night speed limit, stuff like that. Well, you don't tell Wyoming people to do anything. So enough people complained and whined about it that the state actually rose this, put the speed limit back up. I
Yeah.
still always go slow at night.
I liked I saw it scroll by Laura G. She said the same thing that Gary did. Invest in Apple 25-year-old instead of
Right?
shopping.
Oh
Apple
my
or Amazon.
gosh. Yes. That would be amazing.
Man. That would be, yeah.
Okay, did Kathy have more than one, or was it just one?
It was. Even the dogs didn't like you for that one. Another question from Marlene. Kathy wants to know if she can join you on your Australia visit.
Oh, heck yes. I think it should be a whole bunch of us and we can all go. But just so you know, Bridger's coming along, but Georgette isn't. Oh, I forgot to cover her ears this time. All right, so since you did Kathy's cash and coin, I'm going to just roll along with Kathy's questions for you as well.
Okay.
And so Kathy has a similar question for you, but it's a different age. So if you could tell your 16-year-old self one thing, what would it be?
Ooh, okay, I was getting ready to graduate high school. So if I could go back and tell my 16-year-old self something, and this is going to sound a little bit mean, but there's a reason for it. I would tell myself, don't listen to your mother. She doesn't know what the crap she's talking about. Continue to listen to your father for financial advice.
Right.
Everything I know about what to do good with money, I learned from my father. Everything that I learned that is very poor decisions around money, I learned from my mother.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I would.
And Stephanie said she'll bring Georgette. I think as long as Georgette is empty and not full of change, it might be okay. But if she's full of change,
you would have to fill her up with our change because you get so much change with coins and such. And so she comes here empty and she goes home with a belly full of Australian coins.
There you go.
You just have to let Caroline noodle through all of them first to make sure that you're not taking any valuable ones back.
That is true. She likes to look for those. Okay, next one from Kathy. She asked, it's your question, but I wrote it down. I think I wrote it down right too, but it says, can I come to Australia? Oh yeah. She wants to know if she can come to Australia to visit you too.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as you go and visit the rest, other parts of the country, because I'm just like, one small part. And that's why I said, you would have to bring Bridger and then Julia and go diving. And
oh yes,
there's heaps of great places, here on the East Coast, but then that's also Perth. From a lot of people that I talked to and that I've heard, Perth actually has some better diving spots than even East Coast. And even Marie from Marina Moms had said the same thing, that
I
Western
feel like
Australia.
I need to save a lot of money for Australia because
It's expensive.
Need a lot of time there. That's the problem. And it's like when you travel so far, it's like you want to, I was always thinking 2 weeks. And then the more I think about it, I'm like, I think I need a month.
3. You need at least, you do. Seriously. Because you have to remember Australia is the same size as the contiguous US.
Right.
But the majority of the population is all down along the coastlines. Right. But then you also have, some of your different regional areas. And so if you actually want to be able to spend time in each place and get a full experience, and if you want to do the really touristy things, like if you do go to Sydney, if you want to see the Sydney Opera House or, see a show there or something like that, all of that. And Australia's expensive.
Yes.
It's,
I know, I've seen it.
Luckily for you, you have
your budget.
Yeah, It is not an inexpensive place, but at the same time, we also don't have things like we don't have tipping. So tipping is not customary. It's built into your price, which is why you can have, a long lunch. They're not trying to turn over a table to get another person at your table. You can have a lunch that lasts for 2.5, 3 hours, and nobody's gonna be telling you that you have to leave.
Right.
They'll just, they just, yeah, they let you, they let you keep going and such. But yeah, travel is expensive. You could always just get like a backpacker van, and then you could just, backpack around.
Laura says she wants the Crocodile Dundee experience and explore the outback.
Yeah. Well, what we actually went through one of the towns that has that when we went to Mount Isa, because when we drove up to get Torque, so because he's a rescue and we adopted him, and they offered to fly him down, and so we actually camped, and so drove and camped all the way up, and then came back down through the inner part. It is hot, and the flies are ridiculous.
Yes, the bugs. Oh, and see, that's the thing with Australia. You guys have big spiders, and
Oh yeah, but the ones you can see won't kill you. The things that'll kill you are the things that you can't see.
You have scary stuff. See, that's the problem.
You just kind of keep, you keep an eye out, but seriously, you get used to it. It's funny because that's also part of why we have like the bars on the screens on all of the windows, and people are always like, "Oh, are you in a really unsafe area?" And it's like,
right.
No, it's because the animals, like different animals, will get in, and so that helps act more as more as a deterrent, because we spend so much time, at least in Queensland. I can't speak for the other states and territories, but it's windows are always open. We hardly ever use our dryer. Here everybody line dries their laundry, and it's not because they can't afford it or anything. It's because the weather is so nice that you can. So if you don't need to have a dryer running, and I love having stuff out on the line, but my mother-in-law, when she came out to visit, had to teach me, she had to teach me how to use a clothesline, or the best way of how to use one, so that you have everything lined up and you were able to use one peg for 2 shirt tails.
Right. Yeah.
We had a clothesline growing up, but I didn't use it.
Right. Oh, see, and look at Kristen there saying spiders that you can leash and take for walks. And yes, see, that's just scary to me. And I do want to give a shout out to Kristen, because I saw she just hit 100 subscribers, and she's from Salt Lake City, Utah. So she's not far from me as far in Wyoming goes.
Congratulations.
All right. Are you supposed to ask me a question now, or the other way around?
No, you just finished, because I asked you Kathy's questions and then you asked Kathy's questions.
I'm like, I'm losing track.
Oh, Tasha's questions. Did you know Bridger was going to propose?
The first time, no.
Did you say no the first time?
No.
Because if there was a first time, that means there was a second time. You can't have a first time without a second time.
There was a second time. The first time was just the two of us, and the second time was in front of family and after he had asked my children.
Okay.
So I didn't know that. I knew that he had talked about he wanted to make sure and ask the children, stuff like that. But when he proposed, we may have had a few drinks and stuff, and things like that. But what did your husband say?
He just said, if you have that same question for you, I get to tell the story.
So, and I have to keep this PG, but when Bridger asked me to marry him, like I said, we'd had a few drinks and stuff, and my response was not yes or no. My response was, are you effing kidding me? That was my response. So he will never let me live it down. What's your story?
Do you want to tell our story, honey?
I don't know. I don't see that anybody's asked it except Marlene.
Marlene, because she's watching my reaction.
I can tell there's something juicy there.
Because the next question is, when did you know you wanted to marry him?
Well, I was ready to be married before he was ready to be married. We both had gone through divorce divorces. And when I got my divorce, I made that claim of I'm never going to get married again. That a lot of people do that go through a divorce. That's not exactly the best. And so I was definitely ready before he was, but we had a lot of struggles because we were actually together for 7 years before we got married. So we were together for a number of years. And I think that that's what helped my answer of, what I said in response. But of course I said yes and everything. And I love it that Chantel over here is like, oh, poor Bridger, or oh, Bridger. Yeah, no, he was fine. Trust me. And we've got the crafty budgeter on. We've got Chris Budgets. I see we've got some new people.
Hello.
And Tasha, yes.
Welcome to the comedy hour.
Keeping it real. You guys, I will always keep it real with you. I mean, life is life. We all make choices and say things, and that's how it is sometimes. And I don't know what your husband is doing over there, but he's distracted. Uh-oh.
He's coming. So you're not in camera.
I know exactly what
Mr. Twibbler.
Mr. Twibbler. Is he going to tell your story
of how the proposal worked?
Okay.
All right. So Erin had a telephone call with her mother and said, I'm thinking that Gary and I should probably get married at some stage. And, he really wants to. And her mother said, I don't think you guys love each other. And I don't think you guys should get married. Her mother never liked me. I don't know why. I'm a very charming guy. Must have been because I was poor. But anyway, I get a phone call at work one day. And first thing I pick up, I go, hey, what's going on? She goes, hey, did you still want to marry me? I said, well, yeah. She goes, okay, I guess you can. I said, all right. I hung up the phone and I turned to my coworkers and said, I think I just got engaged. And that is how I proposed.
See?
And then 7 years later, after moving to Australia, we finally got married.
So you were just engaged for 7 years then?
Well, he's from Montana. Okay. Think about the size of the family, right?
That says a lot.
And so,
Right.
and so, because there's a backstory to this one as well. So when Gary got to Australia, he was here before I was, and I had access to his Facebook account and everything, and it leads to when we decided to get married. So obviously time difference.
Right.
He's asleep. April Fool's Day hits. I change his profile picture to a friend of mine's sonogram. Oh. Now his mother, okay, I closed down that factory a year after I had my patent. But his mother had always been wanting to, oh, when are you going to have children and such? So I changed his profile picture. I didn't even like change the name or anything on it. So it's not even my name on it. And that was all that I did. So all throughout the night while he's asleep, his family, his mom, his sisters, his cousins are, what is this? What is this? And I get on there and I'm like, yeah, Gary, whose picture is that? So he wakes up, he's got phone calls from his mom and his sister about what is this pregnancy and such. And it's like, that's an April Fool's joke. So when we finally decided to, to finally pull the plug and get married, we didn't want anything big. We wanted something really small, something simple. And that's how we decided on April Fool's Day is when we would get married. And so he was able to put up, on his channel, he's like, oh, who wants to come to Australia for a wedding on April 1st? And people were like, oh, haha, you guys are joking, you're joking. That's how we managed to not have to have hardly anybody here for the wedding. My mother-in-law, bless her heart. And in short notice, she managed to get a flight from Montana, round trip, return to Australia, 2 weeks notice for something like $500 and some odd.
What?
More than that.
Was it? It was like only a
It was
500 or
15
800.
It was 15.
1500. Okay, still 1500. She gets to LAX. Now,
I had told her she needed a visa.
Gary had told her that she needed a visa.
She said she had.
She said that she had American Express. And so he was like, no, you need a visa. Okay. So she gets to LAX and they ask her, about that. And she goes, oh, I talked to my son. He said not to bring my American Express card. So I brought my visa. She did not get a visa.
Oh
They
my gosh.
processed her visa application on the spot at LAX and approved it
Wow. That wouldn't
in a
happen
matter
nowadays.
of 5-10 minutes so that she could get on the plane to then come and stay with us for 2.5 weeks.
That's crazy.
And she stayed with us as well. So,
What a honeymoon.
yeah, we actually love her to death. She's a teetotaler. And so we were like teenagers in that we set up a cooler upstairs in our closet and we would sneak up there to have a beer.
Oh! Well, yeah, mom's there. You can't be doing bad stuff.
But I love my mother. I love my mother-in-law to death. But yeah, she stayed with us for 2.5, almost 3 weeks.
It was good quality family time.
Best honeymoon ever.
Best honeymoon ever.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
This is the stay, we've made a rule since then of we've shortened the amount of time that any family members can stay before they have to go away for at least a day or two and then and then come back. So
That's too
and
funny.
it's so funny because on the day like it was great because our celebrant, so it wasn't like a traditional wedding ceremony, it was a binding, like more of a Celtic binding ceremony. And our celebrant, her name was Glenda Day. So when she signed it, her signature was G Day, G'day, which I thought was hilarious. It was pissing down rain. It was like perfectly clear. And then like right at the time that we were supposed to get on the beach, it's just raining. And my mother-in-law got this great picture because I'm getting out of the car and I'm barefoot, of course, because I'm always barefoot. And I'm holding up my dress so that it's not in the water. And everybody's freaking out because they're like, oh my gosh, she's going to go bridezilla because it's raining. And I've got my umbrella and a gust of wind comes and it just blows the umbrella, open upwards. And I'm laughing about the entire thing. It stopped raining for a short enough amount of time that we were able to get on the beach, get through all of the ceremony and then get back. But it was great. I loved it. And everybody, when we put up the pictures, they were like, oh, we thought you guys were joking. We're like, good, that was our intention. So one of these days he is going to get me back for that. He hasn't yet.
That's a big one. And you deserve whatever he does.
Funny. It was so funny. It was so worth it. It was great.
You deserve whatever he does to you because that was a mean one. That was a Grinch move right there, Miss Erin.
It was not.
Mm-hmm.
It suits our personalities just fine.
There you go. I'm sure his family didn't think it was very funny.
Yeah, they did. His sister, not so much, but I don't know. How do I? Oh, Taylor. See, another one stirring. How do I rate Aussie coffee versus American? Aussie coffee is much better than American coffee. Sorry.
No.
See, and I don't like coffee, so I don't care.
Yeah, so you don't. Yeah, you don't care.
Trucker sludge.
You do not need the trucker sludge.
No.
We love explaining truck stop coffee and trucker sludge.
There you go.
So the endless pot. Yeah.
That was Shannon's question, right?
Oh, that was
Shenanigans.
Those were Tasha's.
Oh, those were Tasha's?
Yep. And then also, where's the first place you'd go once you're debt free and you have never been there?
So, debt free. Of course, for me, all I technically have left is my car, right? But, you know, my husband, his mortgage is going to take a number of years. So it's hard to push out that far. But I mean, right now we seriously are saving for Australia, but we're also saving for our honeymoon, which of course got canceled because of the pandemic.
You should take
And
your
so,
mother-in-law with you.
yeah, definitely. And so that trip that got canceled, I know some of you guys know this already. We were flying into Italy, and we were doing Italy, and we were also doing Spain, and then we were doing a transatlantic cruise from Spain back to the United States. So we had a 1-month honeymoon planned. So by the time we have enough money saved for that or Australia, then, you know, I mean, those are the two places at the top. But you guys know we continue to travel while we're doing our debt journey. I can't go along with Uncle Dave, as some people call Dave Ramsey. I love some of his basic concepts, but I couldn't make going debt free without having some money to spend or some travel money. I just couldn't do it. What are you laughing at?
Marlene,
Oh, I'm a roaming gnome. You know what I need to do on my travels is I need to get a gnome to take along with me and take pictures of him everywhere.
Yes.
So,
but then that means
that
you're
could
going
be
to
a
have to choose,
whole nother. That could be a whole nother YouTube channel.
How many YouTube channels do you need?
A lot, because then I'll be rolling in the dough.
Please.
You can never have enough, from what I've heard.
I only have 2.
You
and then I
have
only
to
put one up, and it pretty much just stays up for the entire year.
Mm-hmm. All right. So my next question, I'm going to go ahead and give you a question. You ready? Yes. Yes. This is Joanna. Her channel or her username is JoJo's.DFJourney, debt-free journey, JoJo's debt-free journey. She says, what does your family think about you being a YouTube influencer?
They do not know.
Yeah, somebody does. He's sitting right next to you.
Oh.
And Peyton knows.
He tolerates all of my nonsensical ideas. Like, I think I'm going to start a YouTube channel. Okay. We'll try an Etsy shop. All right.
Well, yeah, but he encouraged you for your Etsy shop and said, if you're going to do it, do it.
That is true. Yeah.
Don't just piddle. If you're going to do it, jump in with 2 feet.
He is like, if you're going to go.
Yeah.
Like, go big, go home. If it fails, it fails. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And
right.
It keeps me on my toes.
It keeps you busy. And so then Joanna also wants to know, can we have an Australia meetup? Everybody wants to come see you.
Yeah. even like we even want to try and see if we can get something together, even just with the Aussie budgeters, Aussie YouTubers as well, because there's a few of us that live in a kind of a similar reasonable range,
right,
distance of each other.
There you go. Yep.
Well. So
do something like that. That would be fun. Okay, that's it for her questions. So now we're gonna, hit the tennis ball back over to you.
So I pulled up JoJo's questions for you as well. Then, when will Bridger start his YouTube journey?
No, my husband probably will never do YouTube. He is way too much of an introvert. For anybody that watched our Q&A, I think he almost had a heart attack. I definitely bring him out of his shell. He's definitely gotten used to me because he's an introvert. And if you guys can't tell, I'm an extreme extrovert. So I push him to do stuff he wouldn't normally do. When I met him, he had never left the United States, didn't want to leave the United States. And so his first birthday, after we were in a serious relationship, I told him he needed to get his passport like in June. And then I took him to just Mexico for the first time. And then he was hooked. And now he wants to go all over the place. Of course, he wants to go to Australia, but of course now he loves to scuba dive, so he's found a new hobby. And we know there's not a lot of scuba diving in Wyoming. I mean, there is, but it's awfully cold.
I was going to say, and they
Cold.
probably be in lakes, and you never know what kind of bodies you're going to find in there.
Yeah. And I mean,
obviously dead ones. Shush.
Obviously dead ones. I do have to agree with them. And Jessie says she's a huge introvert, and if she can do it, anybody can do it. Now, I say that he'll never have a channel, but what I could see happening is him and his business partner doing a YouTube channel for the business, where they go through, the remodels that they're doing, and they, being general contractors, building stuff like that. I could see them doing a channel like that, but he would not be the face of the channel of that. I would see his business partner being the actual face. So, yes.
Don't just. Sorry, I'm reading.
I'm looking at Shannon's. I only leave my house for the grocery store, and I have a channel. I know. And we have Lorena here. She just said hi.
Yeah. See, Tasha, I like that idea of touring each continent as well. Just getting to different places. I honestly, I never thought I would have a YouTube channel.
I never thought I would have a YouTube channel. I remember when my nieces and nephews, and they were little, they were like 5, 6, and they were like, when I grow up, I want to be an influencer. I want to be a YouTube influencer. And I'm like, what? What's that? And now here I am, and they're like, Aunt Marlene has a YouTube channel. And I made them all subscribe to me so that I could reach that 1K mark. So I have, 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds, hey, I know where it's at.
They can be your social media managers.
That's right. And they would probably do better than I ever would, because they grew up in this social influencer society.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you have another one?
Oh no, I was just yeah, I was reading Shannon.
Comments?
So yeah. I think you gave him a freebie. That's okay. We know you're cheap.
We know you're cheap.
They got to 40. We got to 45 likes, so it was close enough to 50.
Oh yeah, if you haven't liked that video, we've got some new people in here. Yeah. And I see Leroy is in here, Mr. Leroy and Broke.
See, everybody always starts off with everything is poisonous. Not everything is poisonous. Kangaroos aren't poisonous. You might.
I'm an outgoing introvert. I push record and fly by the seat of my pants. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, but with what Shannon said, so didn't I do it on a bet or for a course for what? So yeah, so we were doing a leadership development course, and we had to, and our task was to do something and document it for 1 year. So something that scares us. And I was like, well, I'm already dying, so I don't really want to document that. That'll scare you, won't it? And then I was like, well, skydiving, but why would I want to jump out of a perfectly good airplane? That's silly. And so they were like, oh no, those two are really good ideas. And that's how the whole idea for YouTube channel. And I had actually thought that it was going to be about all of my medical situation and everything. And I chickened out. And then I couldn't really travel anywhere, so I can't twibble anywhere.
Right. So I was just
like, all right, I'll just talk about my money.
And here you are.
And all that, yeah.
And yeah. When is the anniversary of your channel?
January.
January what?
I don't know. What do you think? I got married on a day that I can remember easily.
I am coming up on my official year. I started my channel December 6th of last year.
Somewhere?
And I started, of course, because of Vlogmas and Christmas stuff. Because, I'm crazy. So you guys are probably going to think I'm really crazy. But
you are.
Oh, well, you guys already know that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do a question from Mommy Trader. Okay.
I was pulling up her question for you.
Shalise is her name. Erin and I were talking about that. We were like, she doesn't say it a lot on her channel. And so Mommy Trader says, can you explain how you were able to transition budget-wise as an American living in Australia?
Oh man, it was that was really tough because, as I said, Gary got here before I did. So I was still in the US for 6 months. So Peyton was finishing up school, and I had to finish up like my last course. So I was pretty much all but my dissertation. But so he was being paid by his US company, US dollars, that then got converted to Australian dollars. So I was balancing like so many different bank accounts and having multiple PayPal accounts, because you can't just do a bank transfer from an Australian bank to a US bank, because US banks don't have like BSB numbers. You guys use routing numbers.
We
You guys are
know
like the
America
only-
does everything different.
Like
We
the
know.
only
We
country
know.
in the world that makes it a challenge. Hello, Marcy. ADB is here. Yeah, so that was a challenge. We still had our student loans that were in the US. So even when I got here, and then he got changed over to Australian dollars, I was being paid in Australian dollars. And so we would have to have our money go from an Australian bank into an Australian PayPal, from an Australian PayPal to a US PayPal, from a US PayPal to our bank, to then be able to make our bill payments back in the US.
Oh my
So
gosh.
we were having to budget everything for Australia in Australian dollars, and then our stuff for the US in US dollars, doing the conversion. Thankfully, at that time, the Australian dollar was actually stronger than the US dollar, because that was just shortly after GFC, and Australia came through that really well protected. So that's also why we were able to pay some of that stuff off a lot faster as well, was because we got that extra. It was basically like, anywhere from a 20 to a 25% bonus payment that we were
That's
making because of
amazing.
the conversion rate. Now it's the opposite. So like now,
Right.
if we still had those, we would have been paying 30% more. Getting used to the sticker shock. Oh, jeez. If you're not used to seeing what the prices are like, with, especially with here. So, all rent is done weekly. It's not fortnightly. It's not monthly. You pay your rent every week. So those magic months where you get an extra paycheck, you still have to pay.
They're not magic, because you have 5 weeks of rent to pay.
Yeah, you still have
Wow.
payments to make. Fuel, figuring out, fuel and petrol, what those prices are going to be. Getting all of the, getting the different conversions. Trying to find housing as well is a difficult process. Getting everything ready for Peyton, and making sure that we had all of his paperwork, and then school and such. That was a bit easy, because everybody here wears school uniforms and such. Clothing, not that was no issue, because it's warm here. So
Right.
it was just like, I was in Nebraska before moving here, and it was the middle of freaking winter in Nebraska when we made that decision. But yeah, it's definitely, Laura, you're right. It's you pay for the privilege of the weather and the living. It's the same as when I was in California. California is
Right.
ridiculously expensive now. And yeah, it's you pay a premium for places that have, usually, better weather and such like that. But there's also a lot of parts of Australia that aren't they're really not, you can't live there. They're inhabitable.
Right.
You get into the center where
Where nobody lives. Well, people live, but not many people.
Yeah. It'll get over 50 degrees Celsius, which, no, I'm not going to do the conversion for you. Just, it's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot.
So I have to really quick, I have to put this up right here, because she wants to know, and I'm not shy about it. I'm not shy. I am 45.
I just turned 46.
Yes.
So
not shy about that at all. And then I want to put one more comment up. Oh, go ahead.
And we ironically, our sons, even though they're very different ages, because my Peyton is 6 years older than yours, but both of our sons have the same name.
Yes, spelled the same way too.
Spelled the same way.
So I'm going to put this comment up. Oh, where did it go? Because I just have to. So everybody, this is my mother-in-law right here. This is Bridger's mom. And these are the nieces when they were little that are now subscribed to my YouTube channel. So I just had to throw that up there. Best
Hi, Mom.
in-laws. And they were so great during my surgery, you guys. They helped so much. They took all of the Yorkies. And so when they take our 3 Yorkies, they have their own Yorkie. So that's 4 dogs. And they have 2 Dobies. So they have 6 dogs when they take our 3.
How fun. But
So,
your
just had to
Yorkies
say
are
that.
tiny. Like Yorkies are little.
Yorkies are little, but they've got 2 Doberman pinchers. So, you know.
I love Dobermans. They're not very common here. You
All
don't see
right,
them
so
very
I saw those couple. I just had to throw that up. And yeah, not shy on my age whatsoever. And so now another mommy trader question. And you kind of touched on this already. And I know we've talked about possibly doing, or you talked about possibly doing a collab about this exact question. What are grocery prices like in Australia? So can you just give us a few items to give us a little bit? Do you got something?
Let me grab one of those receipts that, you know, I keep but never track. I need to find one that actually has something on it. Okay, so here, this was one just from a couple weeks ago, and this is from a meal plan that I've been on. So you know that I have set meal plans and everything for me. So it's not the first time that I have bought these items. But let's see, 500 grams of butternut pumpkin squash came to $4. Apples were $4.50 a kilo, so there's 2.2 pounds in 1 kilo. So you can basically kind of divide things in half. So call it $2.25 per pound. Bananas $3 per kilo. A bundle of spring onions $2.70. Asparagus $1.50 each. Garlic, cheddar cheese, portobello mushrooms, $3.25. Oh, of course, I had to get the little tin tunas because, well, everybody, yeah, those are 90 cents each, so those haven't really changed. Gary got some deli ham per kilo. That was $4.96. Streaky bacon per kilo. So for about 2.2 pounds of bacon, $10.21.
And so you say $10.21. I don't know what the conversion rate is exactly, but so just in US dollars, about how much would that be? Do you know?
See, that's the thing. That's the thing with the conversion rate, is the conversion rate really doesn't matter, because even if the US dollar was on par, $1 for $1, I'd still be paying $10.21.
Right.
So, but it would probably be around $8.50-ish. So,
okay,
give or take. I think we were trading like at 78 cents. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why Etsy fees here are ridiculous, because all of the Etsy fees are in US dollar.
Right.
And so when you convert all of that to Australian, tack on easily another 30% onto every single Etsy listing, every sale, every fee that they have, increase it by 30%.
And Carolyn just put in there that there's no added tax.
No added tax. Yep. So, so we have a GST, a goods and services tax, also known as a value add tax. So it's a flat tax that is on pretty much everything except on like consumables, and then other issues with some other things. So yeah, so when you go in a store and you see the price, that's the price.
Right.
And
in
we don't
Wyoming,
really we don't have like
food?
We don't have coupons or
you don't have Ibotta.
No.
No free turkey for Erin this Thanksgiving.
Do you know how bloody expensive a turkey breast is here?
You were saying that it was really expensive.
Like a 3-kilo turkey breast will run you about $40, $50.
Holy cow.
Yeah,
And
we don't
so
do
in
turkey.
Wyoming, we don't have sales tax on food. So when we go in and when I buy my groceries, food items have no tax. So that is the nice thing. And we actually have a very low sales tax in my county. We're at 4% sales tax on other items. So we're actually pretty low. So we're very fortunate that way. I always have sticker shock when I go to other states. When we go to Utah or when we were in California, when we see the sales tax, it's just insane. All right. And then the last one from Mommy Trader for you. Is he being bad? Did he just open another beer?
And actually, he's working on we're putting the UHF radio into my Jeep today. And so he's got the antenna. So I will let you just imagine just what he's doing with the antenna.
Yeah. Well, he's goofing around. So last question.
That's him. This is him every day.
Last question for you.
If I have any children, I say that I have a 24-year-old and I have a baby. When they ask how old the baby is, I say he's 44. Yeah. And it takes them a minute and then they finally go.
Well, I mean, that's fun though, right? It keeps life interesting. You don't get bored that way. So last question for Mommy Trader is, do you plan on visiting the States again?
Yes.
So not moving back, just visiting.
Yeah. And I used to always, up before the what hit and travel stopped, a lot of my conferences are back in the US. And so I would always be very selective with the conferences that I would go to. And they would usually have at least one that's on the West Coast, one that is on the East Coast, and then one that's kind of in the Midwest, or it might be in Texas, which I can tolerate it. And then Hawaii. So I would always go to Hawaii once a year.
So you can go see Jocelyn. I don't know if Jocelyn is still here, but you can go see some of our Hawaii budgeters.
Yeah, I love Hawaii. Love Hawaii. And they are some of the nicest people. Like seriously, Hawaiians are so nice. They're like New Zealanders. New Zealanders are ridiculously nice too. They're just like super nice. I feel
like Hawaii food prices might be more similar to Australia food prices.
Yep.
Because I know it's very expensive for food in Hawaii. All right, so that's it for Mommy Trader from Questions for You.
Okay, I have Mommy Trader's questions for you. I have to switch. I'm going to look really stupid because I have to switch screens. So I'll be like, sorry. Can't take me anywhere. I promise to misbehave. So her first question is, how do you teach your teens? I know some of this. How do you teach your teens about finances?
Teens are really hard to teach, right? I wish I would have started my budgeting journey earlier so that they were a little bit younger. Julia, as we know, we just talked about that already, right? I taught her to have that money and she chose to spend hundreds of dollars on God knows what, but I was there, I'd done it. Sometimes we have to experience that ourselves. I wanted to help Peyton start investing in stuff, and he almost had a heart attack on me, and he's like, it's my money. I earned it at my job. I should be able to spend it how I want to. So he did not want to start investing, but, I think they see what you do. You know what I mean? Like when I send Peyton to the store, for example, I tell him, I've taught him when you're looking at going to buy a gallon of milk, I want you to look at the prices of the milk you're buying and not just to grab the first gallon of milk that you see, trying to teach him that. And now that he has his own job and he has his own truck, like for example, he paid for his own tires, he bought a battery for his truck. So he is pretty good. And he has been saving his money because he's a video gamer. And so he wants to build a computer system and stuff like that. And he knows that's a lot of money, but I definitely am not an expert on that. I know some people, their teens, are all lined out and their kids and stuff, but mine are definitely struggling. But I'm hoping that, like, especially with Julia now at 19, first year of college, that we can help her get her finances under control so that she can start investing, start saving money, so that she doesn't have student loan debt that is astronomical. Yeah. Because student loan debt is dumb.
tough to get away from.
It is.
Very
I
and
don't
very
have the money to pay for her to go to college. I don't have any student debt. I mean, I did have a little bit when I started my journey, but it was a very small amount. And that is because I was really good at applying for scholarships and writing essays and doing all of that. So, you know, besides my bachelor's now, which I didn't need very much to get, which is what that money was for, and I'm only 5 classes away, I got to get those done. It is, you know, I paid for my books. You know, I never financed anything like that. And I worked multiple jobs and I got a lot of scholarships, but I feel very fortunate that way. And we'll see for Julia what she's able to do, but it is very scary. So yes, that
Tasha
was
says,
like way too serious for this.
Tasha says, say it again. Student loan debt is dumb.
Oh, it is. It's so dumb. And you know, it's so sad that you want to better yourself. And some of these colleges, the prices they charge are just astronomical.
Yeah, I guess it's because I see it now from both sides. So I've been on the side as a student, and then I see it also from the side of being an academic. And it's, as I said, it's our system is different here in terms of how student loans and such work, which is a whole different conversation for for another time. But at the same time, it is expensive to have all of the things that, like, students want to have the top technology and they want to have the top resources and they want to have access to all of these different things and the fees that are involved in all of that. So like even, so schools that provide, copies of Microsoft, Office, the Office suite or the Adobe suite or anything like that. Yeah, we get some deals with the software providers, but it's still like some of the bills for things is really high up there. But I think it's also that the challenges is there's the market's saturated. Only about 20 to 23% of the jobs in the US market actually even require a degree to begin with.
Right.
A lot of them don't. And so there are people, getting degrees. There's a person that has, it's like a debt to degree value or calculation or something. And so it's basically, if you have a degree in this, and this is the area of work that you go into, then what is that ratio going to be? And it's how you can kind of rank what majors are best, which is why here you don't get to choose your major. It's chosen for you based off of your entrance score, so they actually control the flow of people with a number of degrees to keep it from becoming oversaturated.
That's interesting.
It is, except I hate that a final test score is what determines what you can study. And there's ways around it, but there are some people who just, they're not good at English and they're never going to take another English class. And so what does it matter if they're great at English if they're going to be, learning, say, theoretical maths, which I think theoretical maths is fun, but not everybody.
Of course you would. Of course you would. And I see Chantel asked, is U.S. education worth the price? I don't know the right answer to that. I know that for me, just so you guys know, I know me getting my degree is not going to increase my wage 1 penny, and nor does the place where I work, nor do they pay for any of my education. So my education is solely for me. Because it's something that I've always wanted to do. And Julia is actually going into radiology. So she's at the community college right now, which I think is an amazing move, because when you go to university first, you're looking astronomical prices, which, because of things like you said, because of the technology available, because of the professors, you know what I mean? There's a reason why it's more expensive, because of people like Erin, who are awesome and get paid good money. But but then she's going to.
They let me in front of the people that are supposed to be future leaders.
And and so then she's going to transfer her plans right now, but we know how that happens. Plans change. Her plans right now are to transfer to a university in Utah. And the reason why she's transferring there is, our community college, where she lives, has one of those like deals where, you know what I mean? You go to that college. Yeah. And so that's her plan. And, you know, I mean, that's a field where obviously you have to have a college education to get into it. It's
Yeah,
not like
but
you can go be a radiology tech without going to college.
yeah, no, that's not really something that I want somebody to have gotten their degree on YouTube.
Come on.
You know, there are some, yeah, there are some things, but that's really what it comes down to is knowing, you know, are things fit for purpose? And I think that's where we're starting to see that what used to be that they want somebody with a bachelor's degree, now they want somebody with a master's, and they really don't
Right.
need either. And so then people are going to, you know, basically, you know, for profit to get their master's, where they're paying, you know, upwards of $25,000 for a master's degree, which is ridiculous in terms of what the. So it has definitely become predatory, I think, and
Right.
exploitative in the US. But at the same time, if I did not have my degrees, obviously I would not be able to do the things that I am doing. And so I wouldn't be where I am. But I knew that going in. I knew that when I went back to school and when I started studying psychology, that you cannot call yourself or be called a psychologist in the US without a PhD. You can get your master's, but you're only going to be a counselor or something like that. You cannot actually call yourself a psychologist. And I knew that I wanted to have that additional, you know, that additional title.
Right.
So I knew that I was going to be taking that debt on. So it wasn't something that I just kind of went, oh, I think I'll just go get $100,000 worth of student loan debt. Whereas Gare, he's got, you know, he has his degrees as well that they inform some of his work, but they wouldn't be a, you know, they wouldn't be a requirement, you know,
Right.
for it. His degrees, you know, he double majored in English and communication. And then for English, it's both English composition and English lit. So he's, you know, really good at
all these smarty pants. And I know you already saw this comment, but I just have to put it up just in case anybody else missed it. Because we got so serious there. And then of course we've got Shannon here that says she just wants to bake cookies and play games. I think that would be amazing.
Just don't let me bake because I can't bake. I'll burn the house down.
Yeah, we invited Erin to a baking collab during Vlogmas, and she didn't want to. We couldn't believe it. We thought maybe, you know, she would be starting some new stuff on her channel, but she said no because she doesn't bake.
Yeah.
And so let's see. I'm going to put this comment up here because it's a big one. Let's see what she said.
I like this one. That is Ronnie. That is such a US thing to, like, there's this weird there's this weird thing, and it really is more specific in the US that, oh, well, you're 18 or you're out of high school, you're an adult, I'm no longer, it's you're now responsible entirely for yourself, and you either get a job or you go to college or you do this, as if those are the only options. Who in the world knows what they want to do at 18?
Right.
I mean, I graduated high school at 16. I had a year and a half of university already completed because I did AP courses. And
Look at her being all smart. Erin's all smart.
But you know what though? I burnt out, and then and then I ended up, you know, running off to Vegas and marrying a guy at like 3 o'clock in the morning after we've been drinking. I only knew him for 2 days. True story. That was husband number one.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, but you still. And so then when I went back, because I went back after I had Peyton, and when he was when I was a bit older, so I went back to school when I was 25. And even still, that was, yeah, making the making the choices around that. That's why I don't push Peyton. You know, people always say, oh, well, when is he going to go to school? I'm like, he's 24. It's really, you know, and that's where you see people get like multiple degrees of, oh, well, I like this, but I don't like this, or they just get frozen and they just become perma students, or kind of like Van Wilders, you know, and just continue racking up debt because you don't have to pay your student loans if you're still in school. So if you
as long as you keep taking classes, you could be 100 years old and never pay a penny of it back as long as you keep doing it.
Yeah, so it's and those are really big decisions, and a lot of times, and I even see it here, a lot of times I have students in my class that they're not there because they want to be, they're there because their parents have told them that they need to be there.
Right.
And their heart's not in it, and it's not their passion. And they're going through the motions. And I think that's I mean, yeah, we all have high hopes for our for our children, but if going to university and such is not going to lead to a fulfilling life for Peyton, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna push that on him. And people all the time be like, "Oh, that must be so embarrassing because you have advanced degrees and your husband has advanced degrees." I'm like, I'm not embarrassed by it at all.
Right.
I'd be more
College
embarrassed obviously making him
education.
do something
Yeah.
that he didn't want to do.
Right. And
Jesse.
I mean, like Jesse said on there that I put up there that, she's 36, but then I think she said 37 instead. Oops, I'm 37. But that's like me. I'm 45. I'm now in what I would call my second career. And I honestly am thinking about possibly another career. I mean, and that's not how things used to be, right? You used to become an adult. You went into a field and you worked it for your entire life. You know what I mean? You look at the generations before us. And so having multiple jobs, is definitely something. And maybe something in your job doesn't fulfill you and you have to go somewhere else.
And
So,
if you want to learn a new skill set and find transferable skills, and I think that is one of the best things that has come from this big P word, is that people have found they've found their passions. They have found things that they were maybe afraid to do, or they didn't want to take that risk, or learning that they actually do have a valuable talent or a gift. Yes, you guys definitely devalue the skills trade in the US. Like tradies here are on par with anybody who goes to university. Our kids in high school, so they can choose the track that they're going, one that's going to prepare them, for their into school exams and transitioning into university, and then others where they can actually start doing their internships and their apprenticeships in their senior year. So then when they finish and they go to TAFE, trade school, they already have 1 year of their internship or apprenticeship out of the way. And then they're able to jump, straight in. And nobody looks down on either one. It's and again, what did we learn from, what have we learned in the last 2 years? I'm more likely
right.
to need somebody who's going to come and fix my plumbing than I am somebody who's going to come and do my taxes for me, because I can figure taxes out on my own. I could probably try to fix plumbing, but
You got YouTube. It will teach you how to fix anything.
yeah, but well, and a lot of you can't do a lot of the DIY stuff here yourself as well. You have to have the qualifications and you have to have the certifications for it. And so
that's interesting too.
It's very much valued. But in the US, like when people say, "Oh, you're just going to be a mechanic one day," I'm like, "Well, what the hell is wrong with being what the heck is wrong with being a mechanic?"
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that is one
Nothing
thing
at all. Have you tried working on a car lately?
Yeah. That's one thing for my children. I haven't pushed college, but I've definitely pushed something. Like I told both of them, you're either going to go to college, you're going to go to a trade school. Peyton, of course, and even Julia thought military. I'm like, you're going to do something to better yourself. You're not going to sit in your room at age 20 and be living on mommy and daddy's dime while you play video games all day. Yeah. And whichever route they want to take, you know what I mean? Then go for it. If they, if they got into a full-time job that they really liked, that, you know what I mean? That would be a different thing too. But I just didn't want to have my children, sit in my house and eat all my food.
Yeah. Well, yeah, mine does that to an extent, but he works. And he works really hard.
And I didn't mean that bad for your Peyton. I just meant my Peyton who's in there now. I could see him living with me when he was 40.
Oh no. My sister lives with her mother and she's 50. That's not good.
Right.
It's there has to be some adulting, but like why he's still, so he came back home for two different reasons. One, because the hit, and then also because I got sick. And so he came back home to help take care of me.
Well, and yeah, there's a lot of different situations on what happens.
Yeah.
I just wanted my children.
But it's also the norm here. It's the norm here for children to stay living at home longer, even when they're working, so that they can save up their money so that they can afford, because trying to get into the housing market here, oh my God, getting a 20% deposit for a house when, your housing prices are around $750,000, $800,000, if not
That's
already
insane.
over 1 million. Who would your 25, 26-year-old self had, $200,000 just sitting in the bank?
I don't even have that, and I'm my 45-year-old self.
I know. Yeah, that's what I was gonna go away. I don't even have that at. I don't even have that.
And
At
you're like,
my
yes, I do.
So
You've got it all
I think this,
invested.
it's almost it's a vicious cycle in that they're being pushed into debt, and
Right.
then that and that becomes the norm. So then that they take on more debt, and we all see all like the different memes and everything. No,
I know. I saw that's what I was just laughing at.
no.
We get so serious, and then we've got to not be too serious on here. And let's see. I don't know. I've got a few more questions for you. I've got 3 more people of questions for you, and
Okay,
we are hitting an hour and 50.
Oops. Okay, let me finish Mommy Trader's questions for you.
Okay.
How do you and your hubby tackle financial disagreements?
We don't have financial disagreements. We really don't.
Not even little ones?
No. He just listens to me.
You didn't give him a chance to disagree. Good night, Tasha. Thanks for popping in, Tasha.
Good night, Tasha. We really don't. I mean, every now and then we'll talk about purchasing something or, stuff like that. But until we started our budgeting journey, March, April of last year of 2020, I had no idea what his financial situation was like, and he had no idea what my financial situation was like. So we lived together, but I paid half of the bills. He paid half of the bills. We each had our own stuff. So we really didn't buy anything together at that point. And now truly it is, it's still his money, stuff like that. And sometimes, he doesn't look at my craziness and my gnomes and my Christmas stuff and say a dang word. He doesn't say, you probably shouldn't have bought $5,000 worth of Christmas stuff. And I don't say you probably shouldn't have bought that motorcycle.
Vroom, vroom.
I love the vroom vroom envelope. It's perfect.
Yeah. No, I do. I think that once you get on the same page with budgeting, you actually find that a lot of the financial disagreements end.
Yeah. Well, and since we had separate, I mean, it definitely was different. And, as we know that, and you've heard me say it many times on my channel, because I'll get people that are like, if you're married, you should have one, you should be together every way. I say whatever works for you works for you. Yep.
I mean, yeah, I think it's normal here. It's very
That's
much,
what you were
it's
saying.
very much the norm here.
See,
People think that we're
Chantel
strange because we have a
Bridger just says, yes, honey. And Bridger does say yes, honey, a lot because he doesn't like finances and he loves investing, right? He loves that. He's definitely better at that than I am. But as far as paying the bills and figuring out what to do and where to put it, he is so much happier since I've taken his stuff over. He's also so much happier since he can actually pay his bills and he can invest. I mean, I don't know anybody that likes to budget when there's not enough money for the bills.
God, it sucks.
When you're trying to figure out how the heck am I going to pay my bills, no matter who you are, I don't know anybody that likes that.
No. And then how often do you go to the bank for your cash stuffing?
Once a month. Well, once a month for me, once a month for Bridger. That's it, because we now are both on monthly pay. So before, when Bridger was on biweekly pay, I would go 2 times. But once a month. Well, I go once a month to get my cash, but I go multiple times to put cash back in the bank. But I usually just go through the ATM and just deposit it back in. So if I have my sinking fund money, that, I am not using cash. So I bought my, what are you laughing at? Is something funny over there? I buy my face stuff, for example. So I spent $200. Then that's coming out of my sinking fund that has cash. But the video that I deleted that was over an hour long would have explained all of that process to you guys.
You gnomed your video.
I can't believe I did that.
That's what you need to put in, like when you have errors in your videos or something, is just have a laughing gnome going across.
I need something like that. We'll see what I can recover. I can tell you this. I lost the footage of the little spinny wheel picking the winners for the drawing. I've got my 3 winners, but I don't have any footage of it now.
Did you ever watch that game show, Press Your Luck, with the whammies?
Yes.
That's what you need for when you have stuff like that.
I need a whammy going across. All right. So is that it for those questions?
That is it for those.
All right. So I'm going to ask Kitchen Shenanigans, aka Shannon,
Shannon.
aka everybody always loves how I say aka. So, and you know what's funny is I was expecting not serious questions from our friend Shannon, but these are pretty serious, and she came up with them like that. So what was, oh, you might have already answered this one. You did already answer it. What was the biggest budget challenge moving to a new country? You told us about the transferring the money from account to all of that stuff.
Countries.
And so here's the next one. What do you miss most about America?
Cheaper items.
Yeah.
See, if you had asked me that 2 years ago, I would have told you bigger vehicles, but we're finally starting to get more of the bigger vehicles. So like Dodge Rams and Chevy Silverados and such like that are starting to become more common here for that. I do miss I miss my best friends.
Right.
So
Okay.
I miss that. But like I said, it's like when I go back, I'm selective with where my conferences are, and they're usually where either I have friends or just pretty much just friends.
All right, and her last question is, what do you wish America would adopt from Australia as a country?
Oh boy.
I'm telling you, she asked such serious questions.
Boy, that can open up a whole can of worms, really. I actually wish that you guys would adopt a better healthcare system and actually have a healthcare system and not a healthcare industry. I think that it's ridiculous that anybody should have to pay money and potentially go into debt for the rest of their life just to live.
Right.
And I don't think that people should have to be tethered to their job because of the insurance that they have for it. It allows, I think, so many businesses and bosses just to be absolute DBs to their employees, knowing that they have them because they are dependent upon that. So I think that that would probably be seeing it now, as an outsider.
Well, and you know the struggles that I had even with my surgery that shouldn't have been there. I mean, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. On the phone crying with the insurance company because my doctor's telling me that they're denying me a needed medical procedure. I mean, and of course it ended up just being a snafu, but still it was ridiculous and it added so much more stress than needed be.
Yeah. And I mean, and I'm not saying that our system is 100% perfect. And I think it works better here because it's still smaller population wise. But in terms of cost, it's not a large percentage of your pay that comes out. It's actually on par with what you guys pay for your Medicare tax as well. The only difference is that we can access it at any time from day one, day dot. And you guys have to wait until you're 65.
Right. Exactly. Okay. That was Shannon's questions. Like I said, she got us all serious again.
Yeah.
I was waiting for somebody to say gnome again to get us back to not being so serious.
Less lawn gnomes. What the hell is with all the lawn gnomes? I don't get it.
I don't have any lawn gnomes. I like my little gnomes like, oh. Woo.
You're going to wake up one morning and your lawn is going to be covered in gnomes and deer nibbling on them.
All right, Lorena, thanks for stopping by. I know she's going to go work to pay the bills. Man, tell you what, those jobs, we've got to have them.
I know.
Okay, so I have 2 more people that have questions for you. I don't know how many more you have.
Just one.
Okay. All right. I'll do one more for you then. We'll go ahead and do Jocelyn from Cash Me in Paradise. She has 2 questions for you. The first one is, what are your hobbies?
Jeeping.
Wheeling,
yeah. Wheeling is that's my biggest one. Dance. So I've had to take a bit of a break from that, but I still dance. I still compete in dance. I've actually danced in Sydney in the Opera House.
Look at you. See, look at, I just
So-
learned something, everybody. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's so that's the other thing. But really just anything outdoors, camping, hiking, wheeling. I've got my friends that are sending me messages going, we need to get together for lunch. Ignoring emails. Ignoring emails is my favorite. That's my that's my
Perfect.
favorite hobby. But anything that can get me outdoors
Okay.
are my
All right.
my
And
hobbies.
the next question that Jocelyn has for you is, what are your 2022 goals?
I haven't actually sat down and started working on those.
Me
Because-
either.
Well, I did have some ideas of what I was going to do, but
Pyro.
and then I spent a little bit of the money that we used for that stuff.
Things
that's-
change. I understand.
You know what? Yeah, it is. It's and it felt good. Sorry, I'm not gonna lie. It hurt, but no, I think for 2022, so does she just mean like financial goals or just
She
goals in
just says
general?
goals. She just says goals. So I say she's not here to give us anything else. So she says gnome over there. So keep it light, I guess.
Oh yeah, see that's hard to do, because my main goal obviously is going to continue proving all my doctors wrong. And
Right.
continuing to get stronger and continuing to get better.
Yes.
And being able to get back into doing a lot more of my activities, getting back to being more of me.
Right.
That's a big
That's
one.
a good goal.
Yeah. And then, like I said, I told you, stepping down from work some.
Yeah.
And finally actually just going, you know what? No. Yeah, I'm actually, going to.
Okay.
Well,
that was
things I said that I
Jocelyn's
would.
questions.
Maybe I'll buy a gnome. Start
Yes.
a gnome farm.
Yes, start a gnome farm. This is a place of many gnomes here. You guys are going to see more for Christmas. I know that shocked you.
Now Wilma's gonna need a gnome. They're freaky looking. It's like that elf on a shelf thing. They just creepy.
I don't do elves. I don't do many elves, but most of the gnomes I have are pretty dang cute. That's why some of the yard gnomes are just weird. They're kind of scary
Yeah.
looking. So
Like the elf on the shelf thing. I'm just like, that's a creepy looking. Why do people do that to your children? Traumatizing them.
All I
People
can
like
say
me
is
exist.
I'm glad they didn't have that when my kids were little, because I would be the mom that always forgot to move the damn gnome. So, and I have to put Jesse's comment up here because, it's hilarious. And people buy them for me too, just so you guys know. It's not always just me. But the problem is we live in a really small house. I tell you guys this, we do. And we live in a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. So how many gnomes can really fit? But it's kind of like Shannon's question, right? How many trees are too many?
You're gonna try and find out.
We are going to find out. When you have no furniture left, you may have too many Christmas trees. See, Jesse, I always forgot to move the damn elf. That would be me. I would be so bad at it. I had one friend that was amazing. She was one of those Pinterest moms that came up with all these amazing ideas for the gnome and the elf and the things the elf would do. And I'd be like, nope, I would forget.
Yeah. My husband's the one that would be making the elf do all the inappropriate things.
Yes, I could see that.
I would have the naughty elf.
See that.
Cereal.
All right. What kind of question do you have for me?
I do love that gnome's Christmas decoration cereal. Your cereal collection is just.
Isn't my cereal collection like #life goals? I know, if you like cereal. Hey,
I
Julia's
love cereal.
coming
I
up.
just can't have it.
Julia's gonna come shop in that pantry and probably take like 5 or 6 boxes of cereal.
That's
That
you know
cost
what,
me-
but it feels good when they do.
Oh yeah, no, I love it. Come shop it. Come take it.
Inappropriate, you mean fun. You push the boundaries.
Yes.
Why doesn't our elf move? The elf got bit by a spider and is paralyzed.
See, that's what you'd be. And so there you go. That's Leroy right there. By inappropriate, you mean fun.
Yeah.
And then we start getting serious, and everybody's like, oh, you guys are too serious. Stop it. They expect us to be fun.
Stop it. Bring the
Stop
fun
being
back.
serious.
I can
All
be
right. What
serious.
question do you have for me, and who's it from?
So this was from Lori, so Mystic Soul 77.
Okay.
And I'm not sure. So she has it as, what advice would you offer Marlene about budgeting? So I don't know if that means what advice would you offer yourself, or what advice would I offer you?
She asked me the same one, and I don't know either. And I was thinking about that one, and I have no idea what advice I'd give you, because you've got your stuff figured out. I would say stop buying so many Jeeps. There you go. And you're like, no. I know you tell me.
No, this will be the last one, probably. So
You would tell me to get my investing game going and to stop being a sissy lala.
I would. Yes.
I know.
I would. I absolutely would. I would say for every time you buy a gnome, use that same amount in your M1 account. You can call it the gnome account.
And so I just put Jocelyn's channel up there, just so you guys know that was Jocelyn Cash Me in Paradise, because I was behind. And Lori doesn't have a channel, so not going to worry about putting hers up there. And so I have one from my friend Miranda at A July Dreamer. And she asked you, what made you want to start your YouTube channel? And you kind of already answered that one for us with it being something that scared you. So I'm going to put Miranda's channel up here for you guys. I love her channel. And she does, the way that I found Miranda and started following her was she does Transfer Tuesdays. So that is how I found A July Dreamer.
I had thought that I had a question from her for you as well.
Well, her channel, I always say A July Dreamer, but it's actually Budget with a July Dreamer.
Yep. I know where it is.
You're like, I thought I had a question too.
Well, no.
All right, so I'm going to put...
I actually have a couple more questions for you.
Oh, great.
So, okay, so Budget with a July Dreamer, her question for you was, what does Snow Gardener 309 stand for? Which? It's 307.
Well, it's 307, and I know that she knows that. And I know some of you guys already know this because I think we've talked about this before. But 307 is the area code in Wyoming, and we're very proud of it for some reason. I don't know why. There's whole companies that make 307 products. And Snow Gardener, because even though Erin says I kill succulents, I do love to garden outside. Outside. And
video proof.
This year, I didn't do as much gardening as I normally do. I didn't grow any vegetables or anything like that because we had our trip to Mexico with Julia. And quite honestly, I was not feeling good all summer long, dealing with my uterus that was, as my husband says, trying to kill you. And so I did a lot of flowers and stuff, but it's really hard to garden here because I live at 7,200 feet in elevation, for anybody that didn't know. And we can actually frost all year long. I've seen it snow in June. I've seen it snow in July. I've seen it snow in August. So every single year I've seen it snow, or every single month at some point, not every year, but we always get hailstorms and stuff, usually late June, stuff like that. So that is where the name came from. But the funny thing about the name is it didn't come about for YouTube. It came about, and I'm a little ashamed to tell you guys this, but it came about as my Pokemon name. So my husband loved to play Pokemon. And when Pokemon Go came out, I didn't play it. And then he would do it. And I'm like, that looks like it could be kind of fun. I don't do it a lot now, but every now and then I'll play it. And it's a good thing to spend some time on when you don't care. But I didn't grow up with Pokemon. Like you talk about having a baby husband. I have a baby husband, not you.
Well, you rub the cradle a bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And
what are you laughing over here?
The Gnome Savings Challenge tracker.
Well, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Shannon actually drew Clyde. And so if you put in a suggestion for Clyde's name, then you actually got pictures of Clyde on a couple things. So maybe some new things will be coming down the pipe. You just never know.
See, work to live, not live to work. That's the Aussie mentality right there.
Yes.
That really is like that's the motto.
Yep.
Caroline, I'm gonna say that it was for you. So Caroline at Caro Cash, our little note noodler.
I know. I think she must be busy doing other things because she's not over here causing problems.
That's middle of the day. So what's one fund you wish you could do without?
One fund I wish I could do without. It would have to be my debt snowball because I'm still working on that. So that is a fund that, I've created. And so having the debt. But besides that, oh, she's here. She says she's here. She's like, I'm still here listening. Gall. I
So
am.
here's how you taunt her. You just go, I have money. And then try to see the feeling.
I'm trying to think. Most of my funds that I have now are things that I want because my debt is almost paid off. So, I like saving for clothes and beauty and, you know what I mean? All of that fun stuff. So I would just have to say debt snowball. Once it goes away, I'll be super excited. If I'm able to get it to go away, because as we know, we often, get to a place and then we think we need something new or we do remodeling. What is she over there doing?
No, Laura said the trash fund.
Yep, but that's not mine. That's
kitchens
Bridger's.
And property taxes.
Oh, property taxes, yeah. But the good thing about property taxes is that means I own property.
That is true.
So if they go away, then that would mean the property would go away. But if we sell that property with the way property values are, that could mean the car payment would go away, stuff like that.
Yeah,
but yeah,
they need to have the land.
And taxes. I do have the tax envelope. Nobody likes paying the tax man. Nobody likes paying the tax man.
Try paying two different tax men.
Oh, I forgot that you have double taxation.
Yeah, that's the other shitty. That's the other.
Bleep. Yeah, we need a bleep sound. We need a little delay.
We'll put like a little gnome over that. Yeah, but that's the other difficult part with budgeting. Being an American here, double.
Yeah, explain that just in case anybody that's on doesn't know how that works. Explain just a tiny bit.
So it's the United States, and they've had it ever since for forever. They basically anybody who is a citizen of the U.S. That is living abroad is still required to file taxes to the U.S. and you have to report your foreign income to the U.S. that if you reach a certain threshold, the U.S. will actually tax you on your foreign income.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And they include, then there's like heaps of things that they include in income, including like our superannuation contribution. So anything that we get from our retirement, our investment funds, and all of that. The only way to avoid it is to renounce your U.S. citizenship, which is also an expensive process. That starts at around $5,000. But most people that we've talked to that have done it have paid upwards of $50,000 because you need to have somebody representing you, in the U.S. And a lot of times you can't do the flying back and forth. So yeah, it's not an Australian rule. It is something that Australia has to enforce. So we actually have to report our social security numbers to our banks, So with opening up an Etsy and then YouTube, my taxes are going to be just a beauty.
Now, you brought up doing your own taxes before. Do you do your own taxes or do you have an accountant?
We have an accountant that we pay a lot of money to do our taxes.
I don't blame you because it sounds like a lot to do with taxes for Australia and the US and everything.
They have to be certified. They have to be certified in both countries. So they have to be certified as a US tax accountant and then also as an Australia tax accountant.
Holy cow. Yeah. Oh, there's Lori. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
We asked your question, Lori, just so you know, so you'll have to go back and watch the replay.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Do you have more questions?
I have one last question. Do you have one last question?
No.
Okay. One, I saw your question to Taylor, asking if you could be her bestie. So it's not Tammy.
She's
So
like,
yeah, she was like, no, because she's got, hey, Crafty Budgeter, Britt is her bestie, you know. So
and I also couldn't be her bestie because I don't know a Taylor Swift song.
yeah, no. See, I'm giving you a little bit of leeway as long as you don't tell me to quit getting Jeeps. You don't tell me to quit getting Jeeps, I won't tell you to quit getting gnomes, but I can tell you one thing, one is more expensive than the other.
It take a lot of gnomes to equal a Jeep.
Oh, yes. Oh, happy birthday to your hubby, Lori. You are never getting away from Tay Caro. Sorry. So, Marlene, this last
Night,
question.
Jesse.
Oh, night, Jesse. Thank you for stopping in.
We're almost done, I promise.
If we do it again, it'll be shorter. Maybe.
Will it?
I don't know. With us, you know. So, last question, and this was from another person on Insta. Arrogant person as well. I think.
Is it you?
Wanting to know. So the person's name is Snowgardener307 and wants to know, is Marlene as awesome as she seems? I didn't even send a question to ask.
Of course I had to send one for myself.
Are you as awesome as you seem, or is it just all
No, it's all an act. It's all an act. Just ask my husband. Oh wait, he's not here.
He's not there.
I know. I was just joking. You weren't supposed to ask that one. That was
because I was going to say, no, you're not, because I remember one of your first videos. Well, it wasn't one of your first videos, but it was like one of the first videos after we had all met and such. And you were opening up Happy Mail and you got your pens and you're looking at them and you're like, oh, should I test them out? I really should test them out. And I'm yelling at the screen, test the dang pens.
And I didn't.
You did not test out the pens.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. I was new at YouTube. I didn't know how it worked.
Just like, why did you ask if we wanted you to test them if you weren't going to do it? Like, test the pens, Marlene.
That's like sometimes my favorite thing is when I
put a cup of cilantro into your recipe.
Yes, that was amazing, and it was so funny. And I still showed you guys. See, I'm keeping it real. Keeping it real.
Oh, Shannon,
I'm impressed, Shannon, that you're still awake.
You get up that early. You are. If you guys don't watch Shannon on her channel, and she has lives a lot. Most nights, most mornings of the week. Definitely stop in and chat with her, because she is amazing what she does and her conversation topics and just her outlook on how she balances it all with three kids. Oof.
There we go. I'm going to put Shannon's link up again, because she was normally she would have a live at the time that we have our lives. She normally does hers. So
she did not. Yeah, she canceled her live so that we could have ours and that she could be over here with it. So we appreciate that, Shannon. So Shannon is another that I would say I've known since early days starting out.
She's an OG.
Yeah, Lori is another one.
Yes.
BB is another.
Yeah.
That has been there from the very beginning. Steph, Life or Debt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shannon, there is no balance, she says.
You still managed to pull it all off.
Right? She does.
So we're gonna
does anybody else that is here with us now have any more questions? I know
you guys need to shut up.
I know, right? But just to make sure nobody has one. And yeah, Lori, no channel. I just stalk. I know. I was trying to give channel shout outs when I can for everybody that's interacting. You know, I am new to the live thing, especially with StreamYard, but I'm really liking using StreamYard. It's really nice to be able to put comments up to go ahead and add those links in.
Lori, you don't stalk. You actually talk to us. Like, stalkers are the ones that don't. They don't say anything. They just,
most people that watch YouTube are stalkers. 'Cause
We
you look
are
at-
a bit weird, aren't we?
yeah. So, hey, Shannon is the original keeping it real. I will tell you guys that. She is not afraid to tell you how it is. If you don't like being told what her opinion is, you probably shouldn't watch her channel.
Oh, can I ask you something? You can ask. You might not like the answer, but you can ask.
Right? So Joanna asked, is Wyoming meetup first or Australia? Well, it's going to take me a long time to save to go to Australia. So,
I could see you doing that. Yeah, I think Wyoming, I think if you are in the US, easier
yeah.
to meet up in Wyoming if you are in Australia. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Australia. And
definitely.
yes, see, Wyoming is more on her budget. From Salt Lake City, it's about a 6-hour drive to where I live. But now is not the ideal time to be traveling this part of the United States if you don't have to. Wyoming, I-80 across Wyoming gets closed all the time.
Yes, it does.
And sometimes for weeks.
I-80 across
at a
any
time.
of the states gets closed all the time.
It's awful.
I-80
Well,
just-
Utah's not as bad because they have all the salt. They have all the salt,
Oh,
so they put salt
yeah, and
on the
that's
road.
great for your car, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. But their roads are good.
I like Idaho because Idaho used to have a big sign that said free taters for out-of-staters. I got to drive through Montana when their speeding limit was reasonable and prudent
Yes.
because they didn't have one, and so I had a Geo Metro at the time, and I got that Geo Metro to go 100 going through Montana.
There we
That
go.
was it.
Shannon said we can go to Arkansas and meet at her house and she'll cook.
Yes.
And Carolyn wants to go and drive Route 66.
66. Got to do the original and play Depeche Mode.
Yes. And yes, Shannon, you don't ever have to apologize for being yourself with the people that want to watch your channel.
So WA Washington, I'm going to assume Washington and not Western Australia.
Yeah, I would think so too. And yes,
You never know.
Wyoming, some of Wyoming is beautiful. Some of Wyoming is not beautiful. I-80 corridor, not so pretty. Up towards where I live, you get more into the mountains. I am 90 miles or 80 miles south of Jackson Hole. So about 95 miles from Yellowstone, Grand Tetons, up in that area. We have the Wyoming Range on one side of our town and the Wind River Range on the other side of the town. So yes, beautiful, but definitely not all beautiful.
Oh, it's like Montana. I mean,
Yep.
Butte is not a butte.
Yeah.
It's
So, but yeah, there's a lot of pretty stuff to see, but that's like across the United States, across the world. There are so many beautiful places to live. And I thought I saw somebody say that if money wasn't an object, where would you travel? If money wasn't an object, I would not stop traveling.
Yeah, I think that was Tasha.
Yeah,
That's
that,
good. Yeah,
and I saw that come across and I meant to answer it. But if money wasn't an object, that's what I would do full time. I would love to see all kinds of places around the world.
Yeah, I would love to be able to get to Antarctica, but because it's to see the range. So my dad had a geographical region that was named after him, and it's actually owned by New Zealand, but it's still in military. So military space, and since I'm a U.S. citizen, getting access to another country's military sites is extremely, extremely difficult to do. But I would
think
love
you could do it. If anybody can do it, Erin, you can.
We've tried.
And they said no?
Yeah, we've had it kicked back quite a few times. But I would just love to be, because he loved it there. He loved working there and such. I would love that's, and it would take, quite a bit of money to circumvent and navigate, I think, some of those.
But if money was no object, then you would get there.
I'd buy my way.
Yeah.
I'd do the rich person thing. I'm sorry. How many zeros does it take for you to forget the word no?
Right. Shannon made the comment that she can't get to 100. So, if you guys can help get our friend Shannon from Kitchen Shenanigans to 100. She does cook with me. She does grocery hauls, and her grocery hauls are hilarious, just so you guys know. I won't ruin it for you. You have to experience a Shannon grocery haul for yourself the first time.
Yeah, Tara, it's really not, it's not so much the money, it's the government regulations.
And the politics.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, yes.
citizenship issues, I tell you.
Yes. And Lori says Shannon does life. And yay! Got subscribed for Shannon.
Shannon does do life.
Yes, she does.
Tracy
Who's Tracy Grimshaw? I don't know who that is.
Caroline, I haven't killed someone. This isn't a whodunit type thing. Caroline is fascinated with with US murder mysteries and such. Oh, her and Shannon would get along great.
Yes, because Shannon, she's going to have a special something in her Vlogmas that Caroline would probably like. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. No, we were talking about
Look at Shannon's like, okay, for real, I gotta go. Bye, Shannon. And yes, Kat, thank you for joining us. Yes, please watch the replay. And Butte is not a Butte. That's right.
No,
all right, everybody. I know it's getting late for a lot of us over here in the US because Mountain Time, it is now 9:30. So I know for anybody else that is going across the other way, it is getting late and we are getting close to 2.5 hours. I would like to thank you guys for coming tonight for our first live Q&A collab. I have a feeling there will be more coming along. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. And I want to thank my friend Erin for being willing to show her face. You guys never know what I'm going to do. Right? You just never know. All right. Be careful what you say.
Yeah, don't put anything out there as a joke because she'll take you serious. But
oh yes. All right, everybody. So yes, thank you. And Maury, we are just getting off, but thank you for coming. And yeah, see, Leroy, what do you say? 11:30 over there. So yeah. And she's late to the party, but that's okay. It's still a party. Thank you guys so much for coming. I know we both appreciate you guys so much. And if you're not already subscribed to Erin over at Erin Twibbles Around Aimlessly, I didn't even put your link in there. And I didn't put my other channel in there either. I'm the worst. All right, Erin, do you have anything else to say? I'm going to put Erin's link in there really quick.
Yeah, no, like I said, this has been fun. As I said, this is, if you ever wonder what I look like when I'm filming something.
Well, yeah.
This
is so mysterious.
This is what is going on. Or if you hear like a pause or a thud, it's usually one of my circus clowns. But no, thanks for tuning in and for the questions and such. This was fun. I knew it was going to be fun though.
Well, yes.
Did you answer why you chose your channel names? No. Marlene did. I didn't get that question.
No. I didn't have that question for you. You can tell it really quick. I'm good with that.
It's really hard to explain. So I'm a nerd and I play not only video games, but like I've done Dungeons and Dragons and such like that. And there's an online game that we've played for Gary and I have played for over 20 years actually. And you could have like little emotes, but I would always just kind of be, going off and doing my own thing and just kind of in la la land. And so they made an emote for me called Twibble. And so when I type in Twibble, then it says, my character name, Twibbles Around Aimlessly. So that's just kind of me being like, because I have a hard time staying on topic and I go this direction, that direction, and everywhere else. So I twibble.
You twibble around.
I twibble through life. I'm just like, what's this over here? I'm like, ooh, what's that? I should have been that way. Yeah. So
see, I knew there was something fun, and I don't think did I know that story? I can't remember if I knew that story.
Nope. If you look up Twibble, it'll come up. Not all of the Urban Dictionary definitions are correct. But if you do put in something, just like a name, Twibbles Around Aimlessly, so not like Erin, it will come up with stuff, from the game. And there actually is from, I can't remember which character it was, but he's got it actually, like I can show a screenshot of you know, of what it looks like. But yeah, it's just Erin Twibbles Around Aimlessly
That's
because
fun. Oh, and look at Chantel. It looks like has my new channel name.
gnomes and all.
7 gnomes and all.
I'm going my gnome way.
That's right. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And Erin, thank you for joining me and being a good sport and for being a good friend. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know.
You know I love you. Don't get me make me get all weepy and you.
All right, everybody.
You and Shannon. Yeah.
You guys have an amazing night or day wherever you are. And remember to keep on smiling. Bye, everybody.
Guys.
If I can end it, I will.